All right, Jordan. What I like to do at the start of every video is to ask the swimmer if you would think there's one thing with your swimming holding you back. And you may not have an answer. If you said there's one major flaw in my stroke, what would you have any idea what that is? What you would say that is?
Well, primarily, I don't feel relaxed in the pool, like
Okay.
you were just saying. So I think there must be something about my cadence form, something that would make me feel
Relax a
chill.
little bit.
And I think the second thing is something's holding me back from any kind of reasonable speed.
Okay.
So I've got a slightly under a minute lap when I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be 10 seconds less.
Okay.
Without much effort, and I don't know how to get there
Okay.
other than getting a kick that works.
Have you done any other swim work before? Have you done anything online?
I've just watched the TI videos, and I've
I
watched
figured
a
as
little bit of
much.
Swim Smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can definitely see the TI
TI, yeah.
influence.
Yeah.
I'm not here to trash TI.
Yeah.
They have a following.
Yeah.
Swim Smooth is very different.
Yeah.
So
I guess the other thing I'll say is my legs basically cause me to go backwards, and
they do. There's
I'm
we'll
triathlon,
yeah.
so I don't. I got to balance how much I.
Sure,
do with my
absolutely.
legs.
Some of that is because of you have big paws, and I think some of that is the Swim Smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the
TI.
TI stuff, but we'll take a look, and we're definitely. I make a few notes as we go along, so I know what I want to emphasize with you when we get back in the pool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna first thing we're gonna do is gonna take a look at your hair. Your hair looks good.
Nice yellow hair.
And then, so what I'm looking for here, the two things I'm mainly looking for here above the water is hand entry, hand arm entry, and your head position. So that hand does not look bad entering. This comes over. Not too bad either. So what I'm looking for, we'll blow that up a little bit, is fingertips, wrist, elbow. The elbow's a little close to the same time as the wrist, but really not a bad entry at all from this angle. Your hand comes over. Your hand's a little flat, but nothing horrendous. Now here is an issue. Your head position. That's the second thing I'm looking at. So if we go and we look
I'm
at
breathing there.
yes, breathing's always an issue.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah.
That's where people make their mistakes. So even if you look at, if we take a look at John Van Hazel, he's the guy that the Swim Smooth video was, the little Swim Smooth man.
Oh,
this is the model for the video. So when you see him breathe, which he doesn't always do very much, but it's just a quick twist of his head. We'll hit it. See how he's basically looking over that way, straight over that way.
Yeah.
And the other goggle is still in the water.
Yeah. No, he
So-
doesn't break the surface.
He's got what? He's got this. That's the bow wave.
Yeah.
With his head in
Yeah.
that position, he's creating a bow wave.
Yeah.
And that's creating a space for his mouth to
Right,
breathe. And
right.
so he does it. Now in the open water, it's always a little different. This is a pool.
Yeah.
Open water, you go down to Barrington Town
Waves,
Beach, it's
yeah.
super choppy. You may need to lift your head a little bit more out of the water, but I mean, overall, that's kind of where you want to be with your head position, a lot lower. I don't know, I'm going to say lower, more in there. You're definitely coming up. But I have some ideas of why you're doing that, and we'll
Or
kind
so
of
it
get
looks
to
like
that.
I generally try to keep my head down.
Yeah, your head's
And maybe
actually
it's too far down.
That would be. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But
'Cause you don't see my head at all. It's
no,
totally
I just
submerged.
had a guy who earlier this week who did
Yeah.
the exact same thing with his
Yeah.
head position.
Yeah.
We pulled him up just a little bit.
Yeah.
He felt so much more comfortable just pulling up a little
Yeah.
bit. And again, that's probably some of that TI stuff. Stare at the bottom of the pool.
Well, I
keep
thought you
your head
wanted
super
your
low.
head under submerged so that you'd be more aero, but hydro.
I'm going to show you. I'll show you. I'm going to show you Rebecca Adlington. She is a multiple gold medal winner. She broke Janet Evans' 20-year-old record for the 800 in the pool.
Yeah.
And if you look at her head underwater,
Your head's up.
here we go. If you notice right here,
Mhm.
her head, will go above the water, but she's looking like here.
Yeah.
You're looking. I think you're looking over here.
maybe.
I don't even think you're looking. Sometimes your head's so low.
Yeah.
It looks like you're looking actually even back. So, or even if you're going to look open water, there's this woman, Shelley Taylor Smith. She's a big girl, but she holds many open water marathon records. Over some of the men and some of like the super long distance stuff. She's just now if you look at her head, her head is the water's hitting her right about that swim cap, just above her goggles, and she's looking ahead.
And her head's higher than that other gal.
It is, and you look at her body position.
Yeah.
Look at how high she is in the
Look
water.
at her legs; they barely move.
Yeah, that's another. I mean, if that's the surface of the water.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this is where she is. She's right in there. Her feet stay right in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're not all going to get to this, but I just want you to see that. I know a lot of people preach that staring at the bottom of the pool. Personally, I do. My body position in the water is much better if I look ahead. It just pulls me up. So we'll get rid of that. So again, we're going to play with your head position a little bit, and see on that one. That's a bad one. If we go back, onto this side, which is great that you bilateral breathe. Look, your head's completely gone.
Yeah.
It's completely underwater. And if we come back,
Look like I'm done.
well, I mean, I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we've got everything
We
here.
got everything.
You're looking up at the ceiling. I've got both your head's
We got
so
two
far out of the
goggles.
water. So
Yeah.
what's going to happen with that is, what we'll see is, anything that goes on up here is going to affect back here on the leg. So if you're coming up this, if you're bringing that noggin up that high, I know your legs are coming down over here.
Right.
We'll see that later. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. I could be wrong. It's happened once before. But so your arm entry isn't too bad on the stabbing. We need to see it from the overhead view too, because you have a pretty good crossover that we're going to work on too. So postural. And one of the reasons I think you're coming over so far is, and what would make you more comfortable in the water is breathing. Breathing is the number one thing that people do not do. Now, actually, you look at this video here. Can't do that. I gotta do that. Move to the hand. Put this over and zoom in a little bit. So far I don't see any air coming out. There's no air coming out. There's no air coming out. And now there's a little bit of air coming out as you start to go towards the surface. Right? Most of the time when we're swimming and all of a sudden you feel out of breath, it's not you need more oxygen. It's the CO2 is building up in your system. So if you're consistently blowing out while your face is in the water, you're blowing that and you're working it from the diaphragm, not just your mouth. We can get you to get some of that CO2 out, and then when you bring the oxygen in, you're not going to feel as out of breath.
Probably breathe in more easily too. If you're
Yeah,
empty.
so you're not.
The more empty you are, you're going to suck in more, right?
So what you're.
Oh man, don't even talk about my feet.
So what we're looking at here is overall,
Yeah.
I have to say, you're not as sinky as I thought you would be.
Yeah.
Okay, so we look at our lines here at the top of the water, and then we look at the main part of your body. That's not too bad. This part is really nice. All right up to about your bum.
Yeah.
Then we're getting a little bit sinky.
Right.
I'm sinkier than that. I mean, I've worked on it, but just naturally, I tend to swim more like this, whereas it's more your legs. And again, some of that's because you're holding breath up here, which is going to cause, again, lift here and then sinkage back here. All right? But again, you're still not too bad in this zone. We would definitely like to tighten that up. The kick. Now, again, remember what we talked about before is everything that happens back here is a consequence of what happens up here. So the big scissor kick you're having is because, get rid of these lines so you can see that a little better.
Definitely looking straight down.
Actually, to me, it looks like you're looking back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a little back. we're gonna play with that. And I
Yeah, and the
think that's-
second lap, I felt like I was cheating when I tried to look forward at the camera to smile or something. Maybe I should have been looking forward at the camera.
So, watch your hand here.
Uh-huh.
That's not too bad. On that hand is not too bad. So your hand comes in, and what we're looking for is when does your hand actually start to go that direction?
Mhm.
The palm of your hand.
Mhm.
So I would say all this here, this space here,
Yeah.
is wasted.
Mhm.
You're pushing down
Instead of back.
to try to get lift.
Okay.
And what happens when you're trying to get lift up here, it's going to push this down here.
Okay.
And what happens is because of you
Okay.
have, if we get rid of that, and we go back just
Just
a
to
little
crack my
bit,
elbow quicker too.
we're going to work on some sculling, which is going to help you catch the water a little bit better. So if we go to full time, if you notice, and it's kind of hard to see in full time, and if I take it down, there's a pause in your stroke out at the front, and that's definitely a TI influence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've gone in, and then watch this right hand, boy. We go back just a little bit.
Partly so I know I go in, I reach forward. I try to make sure I hit the tip, and then I drag back.
Yeah, so but if your hand comes in, and then right there, I don't know if you can see that really well, your hand is actually
It's the wrong way.
this.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. Listen,
Yeah.
it's not horrible, but you're doing that.
Yeah.
Anytime your hand is doing this,
You're
you're
slowing
braking.
down.
You're slowing down.
Mhm.
So now you're slowing down with that, and then it just kind of hangs out there a while. So what happens with, all right, so now you've actually broken, you've braked a little bit. You've hit the brakes.
Mhm.
Now you've kind of stalled, and now you're pushing up before you start to push back. So that's caused a big stall.
Mhm.
So what happens is when you stall like that, that's when you get the big scissor kick, because you've stalled. Now you get this big snap kick, okay, to try to get yourself moving again. Once you've done that, once you get that big snap kick,
Yeah.
now your legs are all over the place. Like before when we looked at that little zone area, your legs are way out of that zone. You're forming a big parachute, and now you're just creating a tremendous amount of drag. And when this hand comes in, again, see how it's coming up?
Mhm.
That hand is also breaking. Wow,
Head
actually,
sideways and look at my thumb.
yeah.
My thumb's dragging out the water.
So you were definitely breaking there.
Yeah.
Then you come over. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all right.
Some good wrists.
There you go.
It's not always bad.
No,
Do I want to be hitting the water with my feet or keeping them under?
you know, a little breakage at the top is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
This is the issue that I'm seeing here.
It's the amount of angle.
135. Again, let's go back and see Miss Taylor Smith. You look at her knees when she's swimming, which is she's kicking her thing here. Her legs are
They don't even bend.
barely bend.
So where's her leg thrust come from? All thigh?
It should come from your bum. We're going to do some drills, don't you worry. We're going to
Yeah.
get some drills just so you
Yeah.
recognize where it should
Yeah.
feel like you're kicking from.
And her feet are straight back.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to get that. I'm never going to get that. We're runners.
Right.
She's
It's
not
never gonna
running.
happen.
She's got ankle flexibility
Yeah,
that we'll
yeah.
never have.
She got fins.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't work on getting a better position in the water. Again, if you're using your knees, when the way you're kicking is, you're using all this leg muscle.
Yeah.
You're generating a tremendous amount of power from
Wasting
the
so
way.
much energy.
It is. You're sucking up all your oxygen.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps, swimming at 200, has a tremendous leg kick.
Yeah.
Now, but that's a 200,
Uh-huh.
and that's what he trains for. And I mean, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
He derives about 9% of his thrust from his kick, and his kick is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got flipper feet,
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
You're getting, very little, and then I mean that toe point
Yeah,
is
it's
that's a
Yeah.
drag. That's just a drag.
Phelps has the stubby legs too.
So, and again, I think you're going to see here. Wow, your head is just too low.
No, it's
I don't want to.
it's like deep.
That's just you're sinking so much,
Yeah.
and that's getting this up.
Yeah.
But that's really you're also. What happens here is your elbow is leading. They call that dropped elbow.
Okay.
So when your arm comes in, first of all, you want to stab that water.
Yeah.
All right. When you stab that water.
Yeah.
You want to immediately catch. That's why they put the fins on the forearms. A little, on your wetsuit, they get the little griddle.
Yeah.
On that. That's because you're not just pulling with your hands; you're pulling with your whole forearm.
Yeah.
You want to reach over that barrel and then pull back.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of doing this.
Yeah, kind of sliding along.
Sliding, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. This hand does a little better, but again, you never want to see your elbow lower than your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into it again. Not bad. That one's not bad at all.
Second part of the stroke is okay.
Not bad at all. You're
There,
definitely
you can see
breaking.
The hand is forward again.
Yeah, you're definitely breaking. So. You're deriving a lot of
I've
power
always
from
felt
that
like I've
kick.
used a lot.
You're really slipping through the water a lot too. That's some of the reason that you're pausing. You're developing that break.
Yeah.
Then you're not catching really well.
Yeah.
And that's just causing, and you're holding out there a little bit long.
You can see my up down bobbing with the breathing.
So
because my head's so far down.
now, what I think for you is really one of the bigger issues is your crossover.
Right. See, I was trying not to cross over. Is that full motion? That looked really slow.
You're at about 60 strokes per minute here, which isn't too bad.
When you're not, without the spatial relation, like the sideways view, it looks so slow. Okay.
All right,
So that's
so
a total
you can
cross.
see you are all over the place in the pool, and this is
And my legs.
so to me the the breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing is always like number one. You've got to be able to breathe effectively in the water to be
Yeah.
able to swim well. And then body position is really number two. And what I mean by that is you're crossing over. So, I mean, you look like at this point, you're completely curled.
Yeah. Hey, but look at those lats.
So, right here, we take a line down the center of your body, which is really hard because you've got a big curve in your spine.
Yeah.
Part of this
Yeah.
is your head is too low. So your head being that low,
Yeah.
you can't see what you're doing, and it's just awkward.
Yeah.
All right, you're coming over, your
Yeah.
head's so deep in the water.
Can you, when you're swimming, can you see your hands
Yes.
in front of you?
Yes.
Is that what you want to see? Okay.
I can tell.
Like, what are you looking at?
A good cue for me
Yeah.
is my hand enters the water.
Yeah.
If the bubbles from my right hand
Yeah.
are hitting me anywhere close to my nose,
And you know something's
I want
wrong.
it a little further out.
Okay.
Because I tend to cross over with this hand.
Yep.
Not so much the left hand for whatever reason.
Yep.
And you do, and again, so now because of that hand coming in front of you, again, this is causing that big scissor kick.
Okay.
And then this hand comes over, and you've got and you kind of.
Oh, what a loser.
No, listen,
Yeah.
this is, trust me, I've had better swimmers and I've had worse swimmers. You're in the spectrum, Jordan. You're in the spectrum.
Spectrum.
All right, so you're not. Trust me,
It's one of those spectrum kids. Okay.
you're coming way over on your side again. That has to do with your breathing,
Oh my God.
and you're fighting the water here, really,
Yeah.
honestly.
Tell me this is comedy.
So, we're going to definitely work on that crossover. Some of it's going to be the head position,
Yeah.
and some of it's going to be, so we're going to do this. It looks pretty simple. I'll show you a couple of the drills we're going to do. And all the drills that we're going to do in the pool
Yeah.
are on the Swim Smooth Guru that I give you the code for,
Mhm.
so you can always look them up. So we're going to look at, first drill we'll probably do is a sink down drill.
Uh-huh.
And if you look at this guy and this guy goes right down. This guy goes down the first time, but watch when he tries to come down the second time. He's pushing. His cheeks are puffed. He looks like he's blowing out, but he's having a tough time actually sinking because he's actually holding his breath.
Okay.
It's hard to tell. We're going to play with this drill. I know it looks foolish.
Yeah.
I like to show everybody this drill if I'm going to have them
Looks
do
like
it
fun.
because it just kind of seems silly, but it's really, really effective.
Yeah, I'm good at sinking.
And then we're going to do, we're definitely going to do some kicking on the side.
If you want to do the sink department, you're talking about the right
All
guy.
right, we're going to see. We'll see how well you sink. Now, this looks pretty easy. To do it really well is going to really help with your crossing over. Okay? It's going to help you with your breathing. Just kicking on your side with good position. Fingertips, wrist, elbow.
Yeah.
Breathing down, breathing out while your face is down,
Yeah.
and then
He's so
breathing in.
balanced.
That's it.
Yeah.
Once you get this, you practice this enough, you get really balanced in the water, and you feel much better.
You always do it with flippies, or
Everything I do with either fins or buoys, you should do with fins or buoys. Yeah, this is way. If you try to do, Paul can do this on probably without the fins.
Yeah.
I might be able to. It's just a lot more work.
yeah,
And you don't-
I've done this once before, and it's amazing.
So we don't really. I would do it with fins. I always have all my swimmers do it with fins. So then, lastly, we just want to look at you from the front
Gosh.
and see how those arm angles are. So here you can really see the crossover.
Yeah.
And look, I can see the palm of your hand right here, which is what we don't. Which is what we don't
So I
want
wonder
to
if
do.
part of what I'm doing is when I rotate my body, there's a pretty good tilt there, and is that good or bad?
Anywhere between around 60 degrees is pretty good. So if we go here, I'm gonna put the angle on. That's the flatness of the water. So yeah, you're around 60 degrees. That's not bad.
So the tilt's okay. It's
Yeah.
just that the arm is.
Well, right
I feel
here,
like my arm is going with the
this.
tilt.
All right, the hand coming over.
Mhm.
You don't want to. This is all right. Without that's all bad, okay. And I don't want to overemphasize like, oh, you're horrible. You're not. But I'm just saying this. I can see the palm of your hand. You're at a funny angle.
Yeah.
With the palm of your hand, if I can ever see the palm of your hand from this, you're breaking. So that's none of that is good. But now you dropped your elbow a little bit, but right here,
Mhm.
that's nice.
Mhm.
120
I'm
is
okay
about
when I
the
get
perfect
that.
angle.
I've been consistently okay when I get that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to get that earlier.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of drills that are going to help you with that.
My arms are long.
You do have long arms, which is really actually should help with your swimming. So this hand comes in,
It's that my paddles are tiny.
and then again I can see the palm of your hand here.
Yeah.
I mean I can see that that's
Is
rough.
that bad?
That's rough.
That's rough.
And then when you come over here on your breathing side, now again breathing always tends to be worse.
Yeah.
You're straight arming it here.
Yeah.
And some of that is because you're just pushing up.
Yeah.
To get some air. You're
Yeah.
trying to get up
No, I've
and
always
get
felt like
for
that.
longer. You
I
want to
feel like
get
my
up.
stroke struggles when I breathe.
Everybody, not it does.
Yeah.
Everybody does tend to. Let's see if we can find you breathing on your. That was a left side breathing. See if we can see what your right arm does when you breathe to the left. Are you just breathing to the right here?
No, I usually switch, but maybe not there.
Oh.
It's probably paying attention to where you
Yep,
are. There it
there
goes.
we go.
And there it comes around and under me.
So you go to breathe, and you're pushing. It's straighter. It's definitely straighter. It gets
Yeah.
there, but it stays. So anytime, the fact that you're bilateral breathing is a huge plus. Just think of it this way.
Yeah.
If you're messing up every time you breathe,
Yeah.
if you're breathing every 3 strokes and every 2,
Yeah.
you're doing it a third less of the time anyway. So at least right off the bat, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. And Swim Smooth is very big into, especially training, breathing, every third stroke.
Be like every third, yeah, because I can do 3,
It
4,
just-
or 5. It just depends on what I'm doing.
It just balances
If
you
I'm
out.
racing, sometimes it's every 2.
Yeah, no, it just balances it out. So, that's pretty much,
Okay.
we're going to work on,
Yep.
the key thing is going to be body position, breathing, and your head position.
Yep.
And we're also going to touch on kicking
Okay.
and some other things. I have to be careful because I tend to